Hey guys, I'm Terry Mine here, and welcome to Economic Inspiration. And today I'm sitting in good old Thailand in my second home here, enjoying the weather. But today, guys, I'm going to share with you how I got started flipping homes. And if you're new to the channel, this channel is all about flipping homes. And I pretty much share my experience over the past 30 years on how I made all my money from flipping homes, how I flipped homes. And today, the subject is basically how to get started when you have nothing. So I want to share with you guys how I got started when I had nothing. Okay, so we're going to go back 30 years. We're going to go back to 1989 when I graduated from high school. When I graduated from high school, I had nothing. I just had my good looks, and I had hair, and now I don't have hair. But to be more serious, guys, all right. So I had my health. I had my ability to work. Okay, guys, and that's what most of you guys have right now. You have the ability to work, and you've got skills. I didn't have skills to work on homes. I had some skills. During summer jobs, I worked around with my neighbors and we built decks or add-ons or whatnot in their home. But the first job that I needed to get out of high school was a construction job because I wanted to learn construction because I wanted to flip homes. I wanted to invest in homes. And so I got a job. And it was a full-time job, and that job was actually working with a remodel contractor. And he also flipped homes at the same time. And I worked with this guy for 2 years, and I needed to get a track record to get a loan. So, guys, you need to have a track record to be able to get a loan. And so, the first thing is when you get out of high school, you want to start flipping, or if you're out of high school, you're going to have 2 years on the job in order to qualify for a loan. And that's what I did. I qualified for a loan. But as I was, working with this company, the owner was coaching me on what I needed to do to get ready to flip homes. And the first thing you guys got to do is you got to build credit. Okay, I had no credit, so he helped me out. He coached me, and in order to flip a home, you're going to need to have funds to flip the home, right? You're going to need the rehab money to do it, and then number two, you're going to need money to buy the home at the same time. Now, I couldn't pay cash for a home, and I didn't have a track record to go ahead and get a hard money loan. So the way he suggested for me to get started was one, buy a grandma's fixer-upper. What I mean by grandma's fixer-upper is that it's just dated. The roof's still good, everything's fine, and you can get an FHA or a conventional loan on it. And that's what I did. So I basically saved up enough money to where I could go ahead and put it down on a grandma's fixer-upper. You know, the one with all the orange flower wallpaper all over and the chandeliers hanging down and all the gold little faucets. I mean, it looked dated, man. So the first house I bought had just that. It had the orange countertop for mica and whatnot. And so guys, this is what you want to look for. This is how you're gonna get started. You're gonna get qualified for a conventional loan. Okay, you're gonna have to have at least 2 years experience on the job working, so you can qualify for that loan. And depending how much you make, depends on how expensive a home you can afford too. Okay, the house I bought, I think it was like $120,000. The first house I bought, I had $5,000. I had just enough to get into it, but I didn't have enough for the closing costs, and I was able to negotiate a deal where I could get a credit back from the seller to pay my closing costs. So that's how I got into the home. Now, as far as the rehab, the cost of tearing out the kitchen, the bathroom, taking all the wallpaper off, and then redoing everything and updating it, I had credit cards. I had gotten myself a couple credit cards. I had a $10,000 limit. During this rehab, I would use that credit card to buy all my material. At the same time, I was still working so as I could go ahead and make those payments on my credit card. So I made the payments on the home. I lived in the home, and as I lived in it, I slowly remodeled it. Within 3 months, I had fully remodeled this whole home. Now, I was young, and I could stay up, late at night doing this, and I didn't go out and I didn't party with my buddies. I kind of like withdrew from all that and just saved all my money and time to remodel this home. And it paid off because within 3 months, I then relisted that home, and we turned around and we sold it for $150,000. And I got all my money back. I paid my credit card off, and I had an additional about $25,000 that I was able then to add to my down payment and whatnot, and then roll it into the next home. And I did that 3 times within the first year and a half of me starting flipping homes this way. I did it 3 times, and I was able to accumulate over $100,000. Once I got to that point, I was able then to go on out and then start paying cash for homes. but not with my $100,000. I actually then at that point I was able to qualify for a hard money loan, and so there was just that one extra step before I took until I started having enough money, to pay cash, right? So I was able then to get a hard money loan, and it's a big interest payment that you got to pay. I mean, it's higher than normal, but you're able to buy a home, right, with hard money that you can't buy with a conventional loan. A conventional loan, you can use it on a home that doesn't have a leaky roof and whatnot, but you're going to pay a little more. Even grandma's fixer-upper is not the best deal, but you can still make money on it. So once I got that hard money loan, after that year and a half of flipping those 3 first homes, those grandma fixers, I was able to get that hard money loan and then look for fix and flips that literally needed new roofs, that had leaky ceilings, sheetrock hanging down, cabinets torn out, no appliances. These are the deals that, that need cash to purchase. You can't purchase a home like this with a conventional loan. It just won't qualify. And of course, you're gonna pay a lot less for it. And guys, you need to do most of the work yourself too, because you need to, at this point when starting off, you need to be able to save as much money as you can. Okay, so during that time, and when I got my first hard money loan, I found that house. I found a great little fixer upper, and we totally redid it. It was like, it took about 3 to 4 weeks to get done, and we then got it right back up on the market. And within 4 weeks, we had it sold. Well, we had a buyer for it, and then we had to go into escrow, and that took about another 3 to 4 weeks. So the process, if you're in a good market that turns, the process is going to be 6 to 8 months. No, I'm sorry, 2 to 3 months until you actually, from the time that you buy it until you close escrow on it. But guys, so the whole process is quite simply straightforward, but you really got to put time into it, and you got to juggle. Now, the same thing, right? I'm having to pay these monthly payments on the hard money loan, monthly, interest only. And at the same time, whatever I'm floating for that, if I'm using a credit card for the material, I'm having to make that interest payment also. And that's the way I did it. I used my credit cards for all the material, and of course, hard money loan to buy the house. And the money I had saved was so as I could float these loans. I was able to pay the bare minimum on them. But once I sold that house, I was able then to recoup all those funds, pay the credit card off, pay the hard money loan off, and I kept the difference. And I did that. I mean, by the time I was 30 years old, guys, I had did about 40 homes, and I was a millionaire. And so, guys, you can do this. It's a step-by-step process. Don't try to run in front of the cart. Don't try to go too quick. Just take your time. Look for the grandma fixer-upper. So the moral of this is, guys, you got to build your credit up. You got to have good credit, and you got to be able to qualify for loan. And you got to have somewhat of a down payment. If you don't exactly have the down payment, you could probably negotiate some type of deal where they can pay your closing costs, or they can kick you back some money at the end or whatnot. But there's a lot of different things that you can do. At the same time, guys, you're going to need credit cards to be able to float all those repairs. You're going to need to buy a lot of material, okay? So and then also you're going to have to keep working. So while you're doing this, when you're doing grandma's fixer-upper, keep your job so you can make those minimum payments on your credit card, and you can make those mortgage payments on that house. And when you get that flip done, and again, live in it, right? I mean, it's not the best conditions, but if you're young and you're hungry, this is what you got to do. You just live in it, and then once you flip that home, you pay all your credit cards off, you pay off everybody, and you keep the difference, and you snowball it, and you keep going. So guys, that's how I got started, and that's how I got where I am today. Now I pay cash for homes. It can be quite rewarding, guys, if you do this, and if you do it right. You can retire young if you want to retire, or pretty much you can do whatever you want. You can get up whenever you want. You can work whenever you want. Once you get to a certain amount of cash in hand, guys, it really makes a difference in your life. So, I suggest for all you young guys out there that are watching this now, if you want to get started and you got nothing, okay, that's okay. You can do it. You've got your health. As long as you can work, if you've got skills, okay, just get a job, get qualified for loan, find grandma's fixer, and do exactly what I said, and you're going to succeed. And if you want to learn more about this, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit like, and we'll see you in the next video. See ya.